Throughout my career, I've been working in a variety of areas and jobs. And so I have been working in a variety of areas and jobs, facing different challenges, problems to be solved. There's one job, though, which I found and find particularly different. It's the most enriching one, but also difficult. It's at times very tiring, challenging. It's being a parent. I'm the mother of 2 boys, aged 8 and 10, and they teach me a lot every day. What is most challenging about them is that they always put a mirror in front of me. So if I tell them, don't look at your phone whilst we're having lunch, they tell me, why are you doing it? If I tell them, put sunscreen, otherwise you will burn your skin, they tell me, why don't you put sunscreen? So all the time, they put the mirror in front of me. I guess everybody in the room here who is a parent knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's a challenge, but it's a good challenge, because it makes you realize that if you don't talk the walk the talk, if you don't walk the talk, nothing will happen. If you expect other people to change, but you don't change yourself, it is not realistic, it will not happen. So this is why I will say, be the change you want to see. If I want them not to use the phone, I have to stop using my phone during lunch. This is why I'm here today as a representative of Philip Morris International, because I want to talk about the change we want to see and to create a transparent dialogue about the change. The world has become a very small place in the span of the last 20 years. There's never been before a time where we have been so connected in terms of economy, in terms of social, cultural, or political. That also means that we all have a greater responsibility for all of us in how we live, how we work, how we consume, how we communicate. An interconnected world, in my opinion, is a better world, but it has some responsibilities which come with it. I'm of the belief that exclusivity and social consciousness are not mutually exclusive. More so than ever before, the most successful and respected businesses are striving to do more than just a profit. They are trying to do the right thing, to use their influence to tackle societal and environmental problems by developing innovative and sustainable solutions. Not everything is perfect, also not in our company, but at least the direction is right. Over the last few years, we have witnessed movements, initiatives, entrepreneurs, and new business models that aim to facilitate sustainability while acknowledging the diverse needs, desires, and motivations of individuals. A growing number of businesses are shifting their business models to implement greater sustainability measures. And as our PMI CEO says, society's expectations of businesses are changing, and we as a company must play our role to address global challenges. Philip Morris International is in the midst of a huge company-wide transformation. You might have heard about it. We are designing what we call a smoke-free future. We want to unsmoke the world. Our message is simple. Don't smoke. If you already don't smoke, don't start. If you do smoke, quit. And if you don't quit, change. Change to other alternatives than smoking. Given our industry's history, it's not a surprise that people are skeptical and doubt our authenticity and whether we will follow through. Lack of trust in cigarette companies is well-deserved, I believe. However, our actions back up our commitment and our talk. We have invested over $6 billion in research and development, spent over a decade developing what we call smoke-free products that deliver nicotine without the harmful smoke of cigarettes, and have employed more than 400 scientists, engineers, and technicians to come up with those alternatives. Our science has we have not only developed that in our buildings and we have hidden it, but we have also submitted it to governments and public health bodies across the world, including the United States Food and Drug Administration, who authorized our electronically heated product IQOS as appropriate for the protection of public health. Why I'm telling you all of this is because, at least for our company, because before we can credibly talk about sustainability, we have to go through transformation. If we don't go through a transformation as a company, all of our sustainability efforts will be meaningless and not trustworthy or credible. So for PMI to generally address sustainability, we first had to acknowledge and tackle the elephant in the room. That is, cigarettes negatively affect the health of more than 150 million people in the world. As a result, PMI declared that its primary sustainability effort would be to get its adult consumers who would otherwise continue to smoke to change from combustible cigarettes to smoke-free products, which are not risk-free, but a better choice than continuing to smoke combustible cigarettes. We are often asked, can a tobacco company be sustainable? Our answer to that is absolutely. That is, provided we are taking every step possible to completely replace cigarettes with better alternatives for the adult smokers who would otherwise continue to smoke. Addressing also challenges across our value chain and seizing opportunities to add value to society. Here you can see some of the products I'm talking about, and as you will see, we are changing slightly but surely from a cigarette company to a technology company. These are different alternatives, and some of you might know the most prominent one, which is IQOS, the number one. But there are other alternatives we are working on. We might have test marketed them in some cases. IQOS is available in 48 markets all over the world. Then we have other alternatives. Some of them are heated tobacco products, but there are also products which do not contain any tobacco and which we are developing further to launch them in different markets all over the world. Since the start of our main smoke-free product, IQOS, in 2014, more than 8 million people have stopped smoking cigarettes and switched to the heat-not-burn tobacco products, which are now available, as I said, in 48 markets. In fact, the first country where we launched IQOS was Japan, in Nagoya, and it is rated the top country with the most IQOS users in the world, becoming one of our biggest success stories for the future beyond cigarettes. Philip Morris International is the only tobacco company whose efforts are squarely focused on replacing cigarettes. We want to end producing and selling cigarettes, so we want to replace cigarettes with smoke-free products as soon as possible. We have been working for many years to make our business more sustainable, often focused on specific challenges across our supply chain, such as in tobacco growing and tackling the illicit trade of tobacco products. Today, we are more holistic. We are taking a comprehensive approach to sustainability because it lays the foundation for a smoke-free future, as I said before. We know we cannot succeed in the long term without making our business more sustainable, and sustainability cannot be achieved without our transformation. Mindful that this transformation also brings added responsibilities, we are viewing our activities through a sustainability lens to be better equipped to responsibly manage this transition and its impact on our value chain for the benefit of the consumers, but also our employees, shareholders, and society as a whole, aiming to further PMI's contribution to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. We are committed to constantly improve our business activities to achieve the highest standards of environmental sustainability, particularly in the areas of climate change, water stewardship, waste management, and deforestation. But as I said before, if we don't tackle first the biggest problem, which is our product, all of this will be meaningless. The 4 pillars of PMI's sustainability strategy lie in, first pillar is transforming our business, as I mentioned, driving operational excellence, managing our social impact, and reducing our environmental footprint. And under each of those pillars, we have a variety of measures we have to tackle to become a more sustainable company. Placing our product and its impact on society at the core of our sustainability efforts is clearly very important. Yet we recognize the need to go further, to be a true leader in sustainable business practices and contribute to the UN SDGs. Despite our conviction that PMI's vision of a smoke-free future is both achievable and compatible with the UN SDGs, we recognize that the reputational deficit we face as a company, in particular, and as an industry in general, makes society cautiously optimistic of our purpose. Our new mission has been subject to a lot of criticism by some who have expressed skepticism about our commitment and our progress. We understand that distrust of cigarette companies and also of the tobacco industry, because we face a trust deficit based on the past. But PMI is not asking for your trust right away. We ask you to scrutinize our actions, challenge and engage with us so we can do better together. We started our transformation journey 5 years ago with the aim to offer better choices for the 1.1 billion smokers in the entire world. Regardless of where they live, what segment of the population they belong to, and this includes all smokers, including low and medium-income countries. We are committed to doing our part to develop a range of products and business models that make scientifically substantiated smoke-free products an acceptable and affordable alternative to cigarettes for adult consumers of all income levels in all countries, regardless of the development status, so that also in low and middle-income countries, you do not suffer the consequences of the inequality. Sustainability is ultimately about continuous improvement and taking little steps to minimize negative externalities associated with our products, operations, and our value chain, while seizing opportunities to make a positive contribution to society. Successful sustainability initiatives are those who go beyond the one-size-fits-all approach and try to understand how to motivate and enable change among diverse cultures. This requires solutions and combinations of solutions to fit specific contexts and groups that are not necessarily easily transferred from one situation or setting to the other. I believe that it's important to start working across silos and with a long-term perspective in mind. Long-term change towards sustainable lifestyles can be achieved by making it more accessible, affordable, and more enjoyable to make sustainable choices. Collaboration of multi-level, multi-stakeholder approaches are essential to create enabling environments that facilitate sustainable lifestyles and long-lasting change. Lastly, we are asking everyone to be part of the discussion. Through an open dialogue, I believe we all become more collaborative, innovative, and ultimately successful. A more inclusive discussion, which fosters mutual insights and common purpose, will bring new perspective, ideas, and insights, and will ultimately benefit all of us. In other words, I believe we all deserve a seat at the table, not one just reserved for those who are considered to have both the influence and the power to make decisions and inspire change, but one that shares different perspective and is based on experiences which will create opportunity to shape, influence, and make an impact for the greater good. As we live in such an interconnected world, as I said in the beginning, all of us should have an equal opportunity to be heard and to make a difference, and we should strive for one table, big enough for all of us, in order to find common solutions to tackle today's problems. Thank you very much.